Hi, this is Shaz from Integrella. This is the first of a series of videos on how to run an API pilot. This first video is what is an API pilot. Hope you enjoy the video.
Let's get into it. So, what is an API pilot? Or an API pilot project? So, the view here is a pilot should improve an enterprise's knowledge of APIs and API management. And the reason for this is that it allows an enterprise to move forward with a better understanding of APIs, and more importantly, how APIs can become a reality within that enterprise, within your organization. One thing I'll say is that the richer your pilot experience and the broader the number of topics that you wish to cover, the more knowledge you will gain, and therefore the more likely it is that you will be able to move forward with reduced risk. And last time we talked about the business case surrounding APIs and how to model that, and we proposed this concept of the envelope of viability. And what we mean by that is the best case and worst case scenario when carrying out an IT investment and the model around that. A pilot aims to reduce that risk and therefore keeps your CFO happy because the investment that you're putting forward, you have a much better understanding of the risks around that. So to your point, Marcus, that you made just now, what isn't a pilot? So a pilot is not an MVP. By that we mean minimum viable product, and viable product means that it drives some tangible business benefit. In our opinion and in our definition of a pilot, there's an argument that says that it doesn't need to drive any business value. However, it does need to surface learnings that allow you to therefore move forward. Another aspect to this, as we sort of thought about this, is a pilot isn't a prototype. So it's not a technology demonstrator. It's not a exercise in getting technology stood up and working. It's slightly broader than that, in that it needs to bring in the people and the process element. It also needs to dovetail with the realities of how that enterprise executes its business processes. And for me, one thing that's really important is a pilot is not an open-ended exercise. So it needs to have a very clear outcome, and it needs to have a very clear finite time frame. When I think back to my days in previous organizations writing business cases for IT investment, this kind of investment was entirely badged as OPEX. And OPEX budgets were much harder to secure, were under a greater degree of scrutiny, and therefore it certainly wasn't an open-ended exercise, this kind of activity, and it needed to really be controlled and to surface the right learnings within the right time frame.
Would you say that you might want to do a pilot and an MVP? Or a prototype pilot and MVP?
Yes, yeah. So again, this the sort of cliche, there's no right answer, but in my opinion, I would tend towards prototype, then a pilot, then an MVP. If I was going to look at all three in a sequence, I think they have very different goals, very different outcomes. Some customers don't really want to do a pilot and a prototype, and they want to lump it all together. But in terms of the outcome and those, the semantics that we're using, I think all have very clear value in the journey. I think the question about whether you combine them or whether they are separate, distinct phases, that's largely driven by the nature of the business, the nature of the business strategy, and their ability to drive change, I would say.
Hope you enjoyed that video. Please subscribe to our channel If you want to find out more, then please reach out via our website. Our details are there, and hopefully speak to you soon.